What's up, Gear Mortals? Isaac here. Welcome to day one of NAMM. I don't know if you can tell, but we're in the drum section. It's a little noisy, but here is a recap of the stuff that we've shot today. Check it out.
The Grace is our first semi-hollow guitar. It's a completely arched top, completely arched back. So it's a flame maple top, mahogany sides and back, and a mahogany neck with an ebony fingerboard. And then going over here, we have the Toro, which is my take on a super strat. This specific one has a Buckeye burl top, a roasted swamp ash body, a roasted quarter-sawn maple neck, and a Macassar ebony fingerboard. Over here we have Fluff's new signature model, standard. Is going to come in this new finish, which is satin metallic emerald green with an ebony fingerboard, Graphtec nut, locking tuners. And it'll also come in satin silver burst. And the last thing I wanted to show you guys is we have a brand new preamp overdrive pedal called the Fission Drive, which is over here on the pedal board. This is two voicings in one pedal. The modern voicing is like a boosted JCM 800, very aggressive, very articulate. And the vintage mode is based off of like an orange OR type of circuit, which is more of like a fuzz, very bass and treble-driven circuit. Silicone diode clipping stages really make it sound more like a really thick orange amp. And it's got its basic pre and post knobs, which control the gain stages of the pedal. Master knob is just for master volume. And then you have your treble and bass for additional tweaking.
The new amp is the Bel Air 40. It's a 40-watt amp with 4 6V6s, two 6SL7 octal preamp tubes, and a GZ34 rectifier. The cool thing about this amp is that you can rewire the power section on the fly. You've got switches that control how the 4 6V6s are wired, the bias method, the operating mode, whether you're using a pair or quad of them. And then the preamp section has a number of controls that let you dial in the tone in various ways. A three-way negative feedback switch, three-way bright switch, an EQ bypass. So it gives you enough flexibility to get your sound. And it's a one-channel amp, and it's non-master volume, so if you want distortion, you crank it up. But fortunately, depending on how you have the configuration switches set on the power section, it'll go from 40 watts down to about 5 watts. So you really get a variation of what you want to do. So there you have it.
The Delos model, which is my spin on an old classic, giving you a lot of modern features and playability features such as stainless steel frets, lumen lace side dots, dual carbon fiber rods, a very aggressive sloped arm cut, a really rad deep tummy cut, and of course the access for the players, that neck heel. Check it out, or lack thereof is what I should say. This is the slope neck heel, eliminating a neck plate and a very abrupt neck joint, giving you great access all the way to the 24th fret. These models are standard in 24 fret with dual humbuckers in 6 and 7 string configurations. They feature a hip shot fixed bridge, and the 6 string is available down to a 22 fret. And pickup configurations for both 6 and 7 string are standard HH, HSS, and SSS, kind of taking care of all of the tones possible. We do have a couple of new signature models. The Johnny Highland model released at the Summer NAMM show, but it's making its debut for Winter NAMM here. Cameron Liddell of Asking Alexandria, his signature model, which is based on our very popular single-cut bevel design. A virtuoso guitar player, Andy James, this is his new signature model. This is the AJ6. This is available in a 6 and a 7 string version. The Lee McKinney model. This is the LM6X. Lee McKinney, a guitarist of Born of Osiris. And this features a KIESEL trem system. Pick up the 7 string here. So it's available as a 6 and a 7, and this one has acoustic bridge option. I want to show you guys something that I've been told has never been done before. This is an all acrylic guitar, neck and body. Her name is Ice, and she was built to show you what the inside of an Aries looks like. You can see the dual carbon fiber rods in the neck. You can see the routing that we do for the pickup wiring. And that is actually what an Aries would look like if it was transparent.
Here is the Victory V140 Deluxe, which is a big brother to the original V40 Deluxe. The main thing is people were finding they liked the sound of this, but it was lacking in headroom. Some blues players, they really like to have that 100 watt, the sort of girth to the sound, if you like, that 100 watts couldn't offer you. And so that's how this came about. So it's really a big brother to this. It has external bias points, 4 6L6s, and a full width reverb tank. So it's a large 18-inch or so tank. And what we've also added is the mid-kick had 2 positions, but we've added a 3rd position, so we get some extra upper mid presence, which helps it cut through a mix. On its own, people might think, well, it's a little bit too much, but it's really a live tool.
All right, so this is the PEAVY Invective Mini Head, and as you said, it is absolutely adorable. I keep telling people it looks like a puppy. It's like a little puppy of an amp, right? Basically, we have the Invective 120, which is the full-size head, and the goal was to condense as much of that amp and the features. It has a ton of features, more than I think people realize, and then maybe more than we realize until we try to actually condense it down to 10 knobs, you know? And that's why the back of the amp is just as full as the front of the amp. So, yeah, we basically got, I think 2 of the things that sort of make the Invective unique would be the built-in boost, because the idea is that you shouldn't, in my mind, you shouldn't have to have a boost pedal or overdrive, tube screamer or whatever to get the sound that you want. This has that circuit built in already. Now, one of the compromises that we had to make, because we only have so many knobs, is that we have sort of a button that has this sweet spot, if you will, like it's a setting that I like. And then the other feature would be the gate, and that also helps with the boost because of the added noise. So you end up with a very clean, very tight sound. It's sort of preset to what I'd imagine would cover most bases. But it's just a nice feature to have on such a small head. We had to cut out the rhythm channel. We sort of recreated it with this tight switch. So tight in would be like traditional lead, and that would be more like the rhythm sound from the 120. We got a foot switch. We've got an MSDI if you want to record, and you can do a speaker defeat, so you could record silently straight into your interface from here if you so desire. You can run it at 20, 5, and 1 watt. And this is actually kind of useful because we had to get rid of the master volume, but in a way you can sort of trade one for the other since you can attenuate the power like that.
This is basically a modular locking pedal board system. It's got isolated power and selectable voltage, 5 to 18 volts for each location. The beauty of this system is you never run out of room. When you want to add a pedal, you just add a pod. You're not confined by space like most other boards. Basically, you use these keystones to lock the pods in place, and you can go 2 deep, 3 deep. You can go extra wide. They just pull apart like that, and you just clip them together, and you can just expand your board as big as you want or as small as you want. If you're playing a venue with a small stage, you can break the board in half and take half the board with you.
This is the brand new D20 head. It's a lunchbox head. It weighs less than 8 pounds, and it is the first head to have a 2-notes torpedo embedded reactive load in the back, which means you can select up to 6 virtual cabinets on the front or via MIDI, and you can go direct to front of house with an XLR feed instead of miking your cab. You can play without a cab and go straight into your interface, and the tone is based on the tone from our Dynamis head, which was developed with Nashville session players to be a great pedal platform, but it has a push-pull gain pot, so you can get up to classic rock levels of crunch or get it completely clean.
We're talking about the Conspiracy series. Last year, we talked about run 1 of the Conspiracy series. We've expanded it out to include the Raven. This particular one has a gloss black, matte black finish. They will come with either Hipshot hardtail bridges or Floyd's. It's a set neck guitar, 12 to 16 compound radius fretboard, stainless steel frets, glow in the dark, side fret markers from Lumenlay. So don't be afraid of the dark, you'll be able to find your way. And if you want something else a little bit sassy, we've got the Elitas. This is a mahogany, this is a prototype that has a mahogany neck, but the production lines will have mahogany bodies, maple necks. Same thing as a Raven. You've got the same specs, ebony fretboards, stainless steel frets. We've got a Strat input jack on the side to keep it nice and comfy, easy to get to. The tone knob is a push-pull to split the coils. Everything you want, nothing you don't. That's right around just under $1,200. They'll be available in the spring.